All right, you ready? All right, everyone. It is July the 14th, 2018. Good afternoon. And it is Saturday, and it is show number 47. 47, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
So today is July the 14th. We looked back a little while ago and realized the first one of these that we had performed or had completed was on July the 13th. So this makes 1 month and 1 day to the day where we started this pre-Wimbledon discussion, tennis news, tennis topics, drama, opinions, discussions, and so forth. We started a month and a day ago, and it's been really fun. And again, our whole premise for doing this was to basically relay to others what we do every day with our 5 kids, and especially between her and I on the tennis court, whether we're coaching our kids or whether we're watching or predicting our tennis fantasy team. So it's really been a good run, and yesterday we had a really good show, I felt. I think we gave Justin Gimelstob a hard time, and we're going to talk about that again in a lighter way, I would say.
We did give him a hard time, but we're entitled to our opinions.
Yeah, so
like anybody else is entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, so yeah, she's right. Opinions are important. At the same time, the beautiful part about why we do this and to get everyone involved is because I think it's great to have group discussions in an objective and positive way. And we got a lot of really objective and really good comments yesterday, and we're going to discuss those. First and foremost, let's just, we're going to jump right into viewer comments as always. I was going to jump into the match results because it was quick, but sometimes we get deep into those as well. So we're always going to start out with viewer comments. So we're going to start right in on what we were just discussing. We were pretty rough yesterday on Isner's coach, Justin Gimelstob. And I think, especially from her perspective, a woman's perspective, I know there's been some historical comments that have been pretty tough for women to soak up, and I'm not going to get into all the male-female thing at all, but I think when you are a coach or when you are a player, or whether you're a leader of men, being a leader of men, I don't think you should be one to mouth off too terribly much, but nonetheless.
Oh, and you were easy. You didn't mention a lot of things that he said about other tennis players that still play on the tour. So, but we're gonna leave that out for a second.
Yeah. So just to kind of finish into the introduction, we're gonna talk today about the Wimbledon news, the action, the results, the projections from what is left of the tournament going into the hard court season. And we're just going to jump right in. So yesterday, again, we gave Justin Gimelstob, Isner's coach, a tough time. The first comment that we received was from someone that we both know. And his username is RROOLLFALLEN, and he has made a lot of comments. And when I read his comments, I just have to kind of put a cornerstone down or just frame this context. That sometimes when I read his comments, I personally have to take a step back, because I think in life there's things that we know well and we think that we know well. I mean, I feel like I've grown up in the game. I've played it for 38 years. Her about the same. My father played. His father played. It goes back generations, and so many hundreds of millions of balls we have hit, and hours and blisters we have spent on the court. So sometimes people that have experience kind of think that they are the all-seeing eye in that. However, the gentleman RROOLLFALLEN, again, I've said this before, and I'm not going to keep repeating it too terribly much, but he is probably the best coach I've ever been on the court with. And sure, there's a lot of people that have all these drills and all these great ideas and all the nice. This guy right here is a class act. From a player standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, I've watched it. So I'm going to leave it at that. So when he comments, I have to step back and be humble in my own right. So we're talking about humility here, and that's why I bring this up. So we're talking about Gimelstob and his, for me, an utter lack of humility. I must be humble in a sense, because when someone like RROOLLFALLEN comments, I really have to listen to that, because he is a much better gentleman than me. He just is. He's a heck of a guy, and I'll leave it there. But thank you for the comment as always. But I think Carl and I will debate this a little bit. But,
no, and I respect his opinion on it and
yeah.
the facts that he gave us. Yes, there's
Yeah.
the facts, and I did my research as well.
Yeah, so
after he mentioned it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there in that you are very what's the word I'm looking for? You are someone that I admire a lot in reality and not just right here. So I only wish the best for you, but this debate, I think we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Right.
Okay. So when I mentioned that Gimelstob, why did Isner choose Gimelstob? Some good facts that I did not know. That Gimelstob was won a couple of majors playing doubles. It was doubles, but it was mixed doubles, and Venus Williams was his partner. Which I didn't know about either way. It doesn't matter.
I remember this now, like as I was reading it, I remember when Venus won her 2 Grand Slams with him. He only won 2 mixed Grand Slam doubles, which is a lot. Most of us wish we could win 1 Grand Slam at anything, right?
I wish I just got into the first round of qualifying at the Grand Slam.
That's actually awesome for
Great.
Justin Gimelstob. But again, his partner was Venus Williams, and she's very good in doubles.
Yeah, so that's a great fact, though. I did not know that, which we know in doubles. There is a big...
And doubles is tough.
And there's a big-time volleying aspect.
Yes.
Now, when we were watching the Isner match yesterday, I know it went to some marathon 5th set, but when we were watching that match, is it not true that even up until the 5th set began, so through the first 4, that Isner had come to the net many more times than he ever has before?
Yes, my son pointed that out, after he saw our video of us talking about Justin Gimelstob. He said, Mom, you do realize that Isner did come a lot to the net, and he was serve and volley. So obviously he's getting that influence from Justin Gimelstob. So good point. Good point. Right
so yeah, RROOLLFALLEN, great point. Did not realize that Gimelstob had won 2 majors with on the mixed doubles. At the same time, Venus being the partner at the time frame that they won, it was probably a pretty dominating team.
Yes, the year they won it, she was dominating tennis at that time.
But not taking that as an excuse away from.
No, and that's awesome. But still, But we can continue. I mean,
yeah,
there's a personal aspect of it, and then there's a coaching aspect of it.
Yeah, so I think we're getting on to more like statistics of player, and then as we further will discuss, do you have to be a good player to be a good coach? And I agree with RROOLLFALLEN. No, you do not.
No,
I think
not.
There's an immense list of coaches that have never played their respective sports. There's football coaches, and I'll name a few of them. But for the further stats, though, Gimelstob did have some wins, and RROOLLFALLEN mentioned these over Agassi, Courtin, Gustavo. Remember Courtin? He won a couple of Frenches, right?
Yes, he did. I think he beat him in 5 sets.
Had some quality wins over Rafter, Correta, Santoro, Korda, Mooster, and Andy Murray early on.
Early in Murray's career, yes.
So I think those are good points too. However, she made a good point. I mean, we had like Lucas Rosal that beat Nadal in the first or second round of Wimbledon.
And what has he done?
And what happened to Rosal?
Nothing.
So I mean, it's good. I think.
And Stakowski, another person,
Stakowski
who beat him, and what has he done? I mean, you're supposed to beat somebody occasionally. You're supposed to do that when you're in professional sports. It happens.
Yeah.
Nadal can lose to anyone. Djokovic can lose to anyone. Federer. But can you keep a steady career? I mean, I can think of a million players who have had a better career than Gimelstob. Much better. I mean, Jack Sock here, who's playing doubles right now, has had a much better career than Gimelstob.
Yeah.
18 in the world.
So, again, great facts, and I was unaware of those facts, so that's a knowledge drop. Definitely appreciate that because, again, I didn't go that deep into it. Again, I think our desire to kind of rough Gimelstob up a little bit yesterday after having to watch him 3,428 times in a marathon 6.5-hour match. I think we were trying to justify in our head why someone that would call Kornikova the following adjectives.
B-I-T-C-H, and then...
Douche.
A douche. And then he went to say that Alex Cornet, who still plays on the tour, is a sex pot, and another French player is a sex pot, and that there's another player, that Stefanik married, that she's developing well. I mean, maybe he grew up, so maybe we should forget about the past. Maybe, right? People do grow up.
Maybe so, maybe not.
I mean, they do grow up, and I guess we have to look past that, and we have to think, okay, well, people are allowed to make mistakes. We're not perfect, right?
Agreed.
So I guess maybe we should let him slide. It's okay.
Yeah. So look. So
I don't know. If it was my daughter, it wouldn't be okay.
Yeah. I mean, if it was my daughter, it would not be okay.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't.
I guess we should just slap him in the wrist. It's all right.
I mean, I have 5 kids and 2 daughters, 1 9, 1 5. And by the way, we're gonna try to make this one show because our 5-year-old turned 6 today, and we actually have a birthday little deal set up for her. A little limited deal. We'll have fun. So her birthday is today. So if I was singing happy birthday to my 5-year-old and I just realized that this person had called my daughter, being the player in the locker room, a sex pot, a douche, a bitch,
and social media wasn't that big yet
during
those times. They weren't that big during those times.
Yeah,
he said it. It wasn't something he tweeted or something he put on Facebook. It was something he said.
Yeah, so it wasn't like something that someone typed and it was like, and I don't do social media really basically at all except for these videos, and she keeps up with it a little bit. But this was back like late 90s?
No, this was in the 2000s. We were still pretty young at that time.
So it wasn't like some
and then he said, I'm gonna serve so hard into Anna Kournikovas' midriff. If she doesn't come out crying, then I didn't do my job.
I don't know.
Anyways, I guess we should put this in the past. Maybe Isner saw something in him, like he said. Maybe there is maybe he's a changed person. Maybe he's a good coach, and we don't know about that. So I guess stats will tell, right? How Isner does in his career.
Yeah, and again, I get why. I guess with these facts stated, hey, he's had some double success,
and that's awesome.
Granted, with Venus, he had some quality wins over some people. So did Lucas Rosol. And you don't have to be a good player to be a good coach. And I'll give you a couple. Joe Gibbs, Redskins coach and race car owner. Greg Popovich, San Antonio Spurs. Richard Williams, Serena's father and Venus's father.
Definitely.
Bill Belichick, coach of the New England Patriots. Bowman, the NHL coach. So there's a lot of coaches out there that have never played but are a good leader of men. I'll name one that's the coach of Alabama football. Saban, he played football, but I don't think he was a great player at all. I mean, he was a good player, but he's one heck of a leader.
Has he disrespected anyone?
No. So all I'm getting at is that I feel that if you are going to be an elite coach and coach players on the world stage, on the global stage, that there really can't be too much in the way of talking about women being sex pods or douches or bitchs.
I just think we need to watch ourselves.
I think we have to be a little bit more disciplined than that if we're going to be one that's responsible to taking a player to the absolute top of the game and to knock down a $3 million purse at one of the most prestigious tournaments in all of tennis. I just don't see Gimelstob fitting that, and I know we can debate this. I know we can debate this a lot, but I think at the end of the day, it's one of those things, kind of like the tiebreaker thing. Because of their match being 27-25 in the 5th, do we now need to rule out a 200-year, 150-year, however many year tradition of that because of one match? And yeah, Isner had one match a couple of years ago that went 70-68, and that's crazy too. But should we rule out tradition for a couple of exceptions? And maybe so and maybe not, but I think it's the same type of argument. We can argue pro with stats and against with opinion, or flip it and do pro with opinion and the con with stats. So I mean, I think
we could also say that maybe Justin Gimelstob is a good coach, but Isner's not soaking it all in, because sometimes it's not the coach's fault too.
Yeah, I mean,
it is. The coach can only do so much for a person. It's all up to the student.
Yeah, I don't think I ever thought it was about the player at all. I don't think it doesn't matter if Gimelstob's sitting there watching Federer play. I'd still be like, Federer, why did you choose that guy? For me, it's not about statistics and not about what he won. And I understand that is important. I understand that was important. There's two sides to every story. Just because he did this doesn't mean... I understand that. Look, I used to be a real douche too. I used to be a real douche too, right? Back in the day, way back in the day. But I think there comes a point in time where we have to realize, are we going to be a douche or are we going to be a leader of men? And personally, if I have a scale of 1 to 10, where I have a 0 of a leader of men over here and a 10 of leader of men over here, based upon the trajectory and what I've seen from Gimelstob as a coach at this point, was just sitting on the sideline.
Well, he's been his coach for 4 years.
Yeah,
on and off, because he's had other coaches as well, from what I saw. But since 2014, Justin Gimelstob, and I didn't even know that.
I mean,
has been in his corner. I didn't know that.
And I haven't to this point, and not that I look too
and
much into
this.
this.
I haven't seen Isner done anything. In 4 years, have you seen him anything change?
What?
Except the volleys and the serve?
Was there ever an apology to Kornikova? Was there ever an apology to the
I would get over it if perhaps
I would get over it too.
Yeah,
maybe just apologize. Hey, I was young or whatever, and I said this stuff. But until then, I just, no matter how we debate this,
I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah, I don't know a way out of it.
I wouldn't hire a coach for my daughters like that, just because unless they recognize a mistake. I mean, we're all humans. Again, we're not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Djokovic made mistakes in his career when he was younger.
All right, so we're beating a dead horse. That's the last we talk about that. I agree with RROOLLFALLEN's facts because they're facts. But there's always two sides to every story, and I think this is a pretty equal debate. But I do have to say this, and this is, again, one last thumbs up to you, RROOLLFALLEN, is that, again, I've coached and played this game for 38 years. She has coached with me. You have. In my opinion, I don't care what coaches are out there or what players that are out there. You have yourself a scale of a 10 out of 10 to the millionth power, to the infinite power when you're on court. You will have your player there one day, whether it's this life or the next. Believe me, you are a true soldier in the game, and we'll see you sometime soon. That I can promise you. Vamos on that, all right? Make sure the players keep their knees up and work. Let's go. Come on. Great comments, man. Loved it. Carlos, she's that mamacita with cinco niños, man. She'll be busting you up. All right. So, it's a matter of time, though, bro. We're going to see you soon. Next viewer, Rajesh Kumar, who has, for a while now, anticipated an Anderson-Djokovic final. He got it.
Bravo on your pick. Good job.
What?
I'm bummed out today. Nadal lost, but that's okay. Djokovic deserved it.
All right, so Rajesh has been a loyal viewer for a while, and he has picked up on. I don't think we've openly come out and indicated the height or amplitude of her fanhood for Rafa. It's big, man. It's like boom. If Rafa plays Federer and Rafa wins, she's like, oh, I wonder if Federer's gonna cry again. She gives it to him bad. She gives it to him bad, right?
I am a big Nadal fan. And I'm a huge Roger Federer fan as well. I mean, and I appreciate Djokovic for the player that he is. But I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, how many people love Nadal and Federer? Many more than Djokovic. Sorry.
You're talking muffled today. You all right?
I have a stuffy nose.
Yeah, it's like I have to put my ear over here to hear her talk.
I don't feel 100% today.
You look 100%.
Okay, thank you.
Like a yellow shirt.
Okay, going back to our
Man.
Going back to the user, it's hot in here.
Yeah, because you're sitting
Come
here.
on, let's go. Let's go, Justin. Come on.
All right. Forgot where I was at again. Distraction. We need like a partition right here. I forgot what I was going to say.
Like that dating show?
Yeah, I really forgot where I was at for a second.
We were saying about he made the right picks. He picked Anderson.
Oh,
he picked,
okay.
Djokovic to go to the final. He got it right.
All right, so check this out. So Rajesh mentioned something that Carla was like, huh? She was like, what? How is he going to say this? Rajesh, come on, man. Look, I'm with you. I picked Djokovic to win the tournament like you did.
No, he has a great pick. I'm not mad about that.
Okay,
I'm not upset about anything.
Well, the comment is that that Djokovic had been humble always. That was the message. That was one of the messages. Well, Djokovic has been humble always, right? But you have to understand. You have to understand this before she starts talking. She lost Nadal today to this guy. So you know that she can't be in a positive energy. I'm not
going to say anything negative. I'm not. I mean, he says that Djokovic was always humble. That's not the case. If you go back into the beginning of his career, I mean, he grew up. He was humble today.
He was humble today.
Today he was humble. He didn't go yes like he usually does and rubs it in your face. He was humble today, and I give him credit for that. And he deserved to win. But Djokovic was not humble in the beginning of his career. He had a temper problem.
Impersonations?
He would make impersonations of Rafael Nadal, Andy Roddick, Roger Federer, Maria Sharapova. People didn't like him in the beginning. Not only that, when he would retire a lot from matches, you know, he would say his back would hurt and then make excuses of why he lost. I mean, he even had an altercation with Roddick
in the locker room
in 2008 at the US Open because of his mouth. So no, he hasn't always been a humble player. Even when he wins, you know, even as a few years ago, he would, you know, do this. I mean, he did this at Wimbledon to the Wimbledon crowd.
Yeah, I think I remember the back injury thing. I think that Cartledge is referring to. I saw Djokovic play Federer in the 2007 U.S. Open Final there, and he lost to Federer in straight sets. Close match, but before that is where you are going.
Yes.
Before that, I think it was 06, like you said. So. Djokovic was playing Nadal, actually, a very young Nadal, and Nadal.
Well, they were both young.
Yeah, both young, but I think Djokovic was up like a couple sets. No, it was a 3-set match. I think he was up like it was 3 out of 5.
He was down two sets and
to
he
none.
retired.
Yeah, and then he was down 2 sets to none, and then when he got down in the third or the start of the third, he retired because of his back, and Nadal was just kind of sitting there like, man, can you at least finish it and shake my hand at the net kind of thing in his head, but yet he retired because of his back. And then he was interviewed afterwards and indicated that it was only because of his back that he didn't beat the daylights out of Nadal. Now, I mean, that's like 12 years ago.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He said he was always humble. No, he wasn't always humble.
Okay, so I would agree there.
He's improving.
He's improving
He's definitely improving.
Yeah, he's improving on his humility.
And he's trying to win fans. You know, if you look at Roger Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, he's got half of the fans that these two guys have. Why? Because they've always been humble.
Agreed.
And that's the only reason why. He's a great player. Djokovic is a great player with 12 Grand Slams, who could make it 13, close to Pete Sampras' record. I mean, you gotta give him that. But
yeah. So all I know though.
Good for him.
I do know one thing that's a fact.
But I still want Anderson to win. I'm sorry. I am rooting for Anderson.
Anyway.
Sorry. I just can't.
I told you.
I just can't.
Told
Sorry.
you it was coming. Told you. She's all calm over here talking about, no, I'm cool. I'm not going to say anything bad.
I am going to be rooting for Anderson tomorrow. I'm going to be jumping up and down. I don't care what I have to do. As a matter of fact, I'm picking him in my bracket.
Look, I have dealt with this before. Look, we used to stay up, like when Nadal and Federer would play, when Nadal and Federer would play in the Australian Open Finals, like, 2012-ish, 11, 12-ish, somewhere in there.
They just had an Australian Open Final this year.
Yeah, well, I'm talking back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm talking even further back, like almost a decade ago. So they would play Australian Open Finals, and I was a big Federer fan, still in, and she was, or is, Nadal. And not that we don't enjoy both, but I
love them both.
So we would stay up until like 4 in the morning until the match would start, and then the match would start, and then Nadal would beat Federer in like 5 sets, and then Federer would cry. And for the whole year, every time I would sit down at the table, she'd be like, "What, are you going to cry because Federer lost?"
But you know what?
For a whole year, I had to deal with that.
I'm not the only one. We also have a friend, Cesc Lopez. You know, he's a big Andy Murray fan.
Jeez.
And anytime Federer would lose, he would say, "Oh, look at Crybaby." That was his nickname, remember?
All I know is that for me, I want to look at her and be like, "Ooh, is Nadal going to cry?" But I know he won't. But in any event, yeah.
But you know that had to hurt Nadal to lose today.
Yeah.
Especially to Djokovic. They're not the best of friends, let's be real.
All I know is Rajesh has his picks in the final, and I think that's pretty impressive.
Well, can anyone answer why Djokovic has less fans than Nadal and Federer?
I don't know.
Even the media.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you can bring that up. I don't follow that too much.
No, I'm talking about why does he have less fans than those two?
Why do you think?
I already told you why. It's because they've been humble from the beginning.
All right, so enough about that. So we're going to get right back into just the continuation and ending of the Nadal-Djokovic match today. The match ended with Djokovic winning 6-4, 3-6, 7-6, 3-6, and 10-8 in the fifth after 5 hours and 15 minutes. Split into 2 days, so I would say good workout one day, good workout the other. Doesn't matter if you win or lost necessarily in terms of overall fitness.
They're both fit.
Unfortunately for Anderson, he's got to be hurting. But Djokovic picked on Rafa's backhand. We talked about this yesterday, leading into today, and it continued. The first set, that they came out and played. Nadal did win that set.
He was up 3-love in that set.
He was up 3-love, and Nadal actually had a match point in this match. But furthermore, though, when it gets down to break point chances, when we get to the statistics, I think at one point Djokovic was like 3 for 17 or 3 for 16 in total break points won. Djokovic won the match, and with statistics like that, I would be pissed at myself.
Well, he was mad at himself.
I mean,
he really was. He was his racket slamming it. He should be mad because he could have ended this match a lot quicker.
Yeah, it could have been over when he lost the first set, 6-3. Again, I'll make reference. We played a set just the other day. We talked about it on yesterday's video. I should have been up 5-0, and I found myself down 1-4 over 5 break points. And you look back and you're like, what the heck? What did I do?
He should have capitalized on those break points. Not only that, he was serving a lot better than Nadal was.
Yeah, I mean,
he had more aces.
Yeah, the final ace count, by the way, and I have that. Aces. Djokovic had 23 aces, and Nadal had 9. I have pretty lopsided there. What was the other statistic? There was one other big statistic.
Well, the break points. The break point was the statistic there. He had a lot more break points.
Oh, you are correct. Thank you. So, at one point in the fifth set, Djokovic was 3 for 17 on break points. He ended the match on his 4th break point, or at least got the ability to serve it out. No, he actually broke to win.
He broke. Nadal didn't win 1 point on his serve.
So his 4th break point chance was on the 19 point. He went 4 for 19 in break point chances. If he would have won just a handful, maybe even 4 more of those break points, the match would have been over long ago.
It would have been.
So
I think he was the stronger player. Yes, Nadal came out, attacking in the 4th set. But in the 5th set, he had so many chances. And Nadal had his chances too. He didn't capitalize on them as well. But Djokovic was the better player. And he won. The right player won.
Yeah, better player today. Again, good job, Rajesh, in calling this one. And after the match, Djokovic seemed like a good sportsman. So I'm not going to take his humility all the way away.
He was humble in this one.
He seemed pretty good today.
Yes.
So, moving forward, Serena loses today quickly, 6-3, 6-3 to Kerber.
I had it right.
I
told you that.
Standing ovation for Kerber.
I told you she would lose this match just because I don't think she's still 100%. She's not 100%. I mean, you got to give her credit. She just came back to tennis after having a baby 10 months ago. So bravo to her. But Kerber's much fitter. She was much stronger. She's been playing a lot of tennis, and she was hungry.
Yeah.
And she was hitting the ball.
So how we approached this match is we were up at 4:30. We had 4:30 this morning, and we had to take a drive and take care of some other things. And we had Wimbledon radio going, and then we had live video stream going. I was driving. She was not. And we were doing our thing. So we had the ability to watch this match, and we obviously finished the Djokovic-Nadal match. From basically the onset of this match, I think it was like 2-2 at one point to start, and it was kind of close. But there was I think Serena may even have broke her at first. I can't really recall, but it was close.
I don't remember any breaks. There's no way Serena broke her.
I think it may have started.
No, it was 1-1, 2-2.
1-1, 2-2.
Yes,
so it was close.
3-2, and then.
And then it kind of just rolled away. So forget about the score. Serena lost. What I want to get at with Kerber is that she deserved this.
She deserved
this tournament.
And they're good friends. I didn't know they were good friends.
Yeah, and furthermore, let's be real. For a young lady of Serena's size, her stature, her build, to come off of an Australian Open, lest we forget, that was not this past year, but the year before that. While pregnant. Had a child, which we've had 5. We know how long it takes. Sometimes it takes 2 years to get back even to somewhat of a normal shape. Okay?
Yes.
I know, we've done this before. And for her to be in the finals of Wimbledon in a respectable way.
Amazing.
What?
Amazing. I mean,
What? Let's go.
Amazing. She should not put her head down. She should be proud of how far she got. I mean, when they interviewed her today, I had tears in my eyes when you could see that she was emotional about it. And she said, I did this for all the moms out there, and I tried, but Kerber just played a lot better than I did. And I mean, she was humble about it, good sportsmanship. I mean, bravo to Serena.
So,
she tried her best, but today was not her day.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get a tearjerker. Sometimes, you watch that match or the interview or someone finally wins.
She's human. She has a heart.
Yeah, you see it whether you're watching it on television, you follow the game for eons or your entire life, and you bleed it and you think it, and you watch another athlete win that or lose it even, and you show emotion. She did that. I respected that.
Yeah, and shame on Sharapova for writing that book about her, making her cry. I thought about that when she was crying. I said, how dare you write that book?
Yeah, and she'll get into that whole Sharapova thing and how she wrote the book. She's a big fan. Serena, great job, and Kerber, even greater job for you. You deserved it. It was nice to see Navratilova and the audience next to Billie Jean King in the crowd. And by the way, just a stat for that match: Serena Williams had 24 unforced errors, and Kerber had 5.
That makes a big difference in the match. And by the way, I love the way these guys commentate on Wimbledon radio. Love the accents. Love how passionate they are about it. They have so much information. They're really good. I think I prefer those guys on watching them on Tennis Channel, honestly.
Wimbledon radio did a great job.
Excellent.
I think Jill Krybos was one of the commentators. They did a great job.
The way that, they were passionate, the way they would describe the points and everything. It was exciting.
All right, so quick rundown the last 2 minutes. How does Serena do during the U.S. Open, and how does Kerber do?
They'll both be fine. Serena will be fit by the time she gets to the U.S. Open, I think.
I think she still has another year to go. All right.
I think so, too.
Does Kerber win another major?
Tough to say.
I say she wins 2 more.
Okay.
Mike Bryan and Jack Sock in a doubles final now. We had to do the show. They were deep in a 4th set. Keep your eyes on that one. Tomorrow, boys final Wimbledon. Jack Draper. Can he be the first British boy in I think some odd 50 years to win the boys Wimbledon final? I don't know, but I'm rooting for Draper. All right, no more news on the potential match fixing between with Verdasco, Fernando, and his partner Marrero. I haven't heard anything about that. I know
You'll hear about it in upcoming months.
We haven't talked about it before. I wish the best for them, and hopefully that is untrue. And Verdasco has always been a gentleman in this game, so I really hope it's not true. So we got rolling at 4:30 this morning, so it's about time to celebrate our now 6-year-old. We have a 5-year-old girl and a 9, and then 3 boys, but our 5-year-old is about to turn 6. So great job, Mom.
Yeah, that means serious tennis for her now.
5 kids out of this thing.
Serious tennis.
5 kids. So she's all thinking it's going to be this great day, and then, it is going to be a great day.
It is.
But we have a rule here with our kids. At 6 is when training starts. So tomorrow, when she's 6 years and a day, let's go, Gabby. We're going to start moving. Let's go. Get those knees up, right? RROOLLFALLEN, get those knees up. What are you doing? That starts tomorrow, Gabby. But for today, happy birthday. And ideas for how we roll into the U.S. Open and do these videos, please let us know. Give us comments. Oh, I've got about 10 seconds, so click a like below, subscribe below, and as always, Carla says,
Adios.
See ya.